Welcome back once more, ladies and gentlemen. We've got game one ready to start, and I think we should just hop on in, Merlini. Let's not wait any longer.
Let's do it.
That's the spirit. I like that enthusiasm. Get pumped up.
What's your prediction for this series?
This is a close one. I think Ninjas in Pajamas will take it because of the stand-in factor. That was my thought process earlier with Solo. You think PR is still going to do it even with NS?
They've had way more solid results recently, and I don't know. They seem more driven.
More driven.
More driven.
Based on what? Just their.
I mean, I was in the back room talking to the peeps, and not that NiP is not driven. It's just they're fun, they're friends, they're joking around, and PR is just like we want to win.
Yeah, that's true. PR is they're like the silent killers. I passed them in the airport when we got through customs, and they kind of walked by, and one of them made eye contact, and I said hi, and he said hi, and then they walked away, and I heard them whispering, I think that was Zyori. I think that was the caster guy. And then that was it. They're just very, very cool, calm, and collected. They keep to themselves, and I can only assume they're spending all that time theory crafting.
10 seconds remaining.
So, looking at the draft, we see a Faceless Void pick.
5 seconds remaining.
Very early on.
Yeah.
Even Witch Doctor, he's fallen out of favor quite a bit. Power Rangers is one of few teams still picking him at a high priority.
So we'll be Cheshire Cat drafting for Power Rangers. I think J4 does it
usually. Yeah.
Does it usually, and I also think the players on PR, they're slightly more individually skilled. In NiP, they have very good teamwork and coordination. So players I'm looking out for, probably Sonico on Power Rangers. I've seen his disruptor just completely carry their team. And who else?
Ditya Ra has just been on fire in general.
Yeah,
Parker was talking about his Slark plays, but he has a very diverse hero pool, and that's one of the things that makes him so dangerous, I think.
Yeah, he plays Void, Morphling, Anti-Mage, Slark,
I've seen him play Gyro once at least.
He plays it all.
Pretty well-rounded. He's one of those carries you can't really ban against specifically. And Ninjas in Pajamas won't even try. They'll take out Dazzle, Wisp with their first two. Wisp, not a surprise, but to see Dazzle banned in that first group is certainly a bit surprising.
And NiP, I've seen Jonah, some fan, have some amazing offlane plays and just destroy the other team. At the same time, I've seen him go for the high-risk, high-reward plays as the offlane, die 1 or 2 times, and then he keeps trying to make those plays, and it just sometimes tends to fall off. So I'll be also looking for him.
Yep. NiP with the second pick, Venomancer. They are also one of the team, sort of like Power Rangers with the Witch Doctor. They are one of few really prioritizing the Venomancer quite a bit.
They do love their Venom mid.
Yeah. NiP is also one of these teams that spreads the farm a little bit more. Their 4 and 5 positions tend to get a little bit less, and their offlaner, Jonas, he averages a pretty high share of the gold gain, about on point with 8 Mother. So sort of taking a page out of that Na'Vi book where the offlaner and mid really get that farm priority. So offlaners banned out by Power Rangers with their 3rd and 4th, Bat Rider and the Tide Hunter. And NiP, they'll put on their pajamas and take out Zeus as well as the Ancient Apparition, 2 heroes that, well, that's some wombo to that Void combo.
Brewmaster has not yet been touched in this draft.
Well, there's the Raptor you were talking about.
Yeah, I think Raptor's a hero that both of these teams like a lot.
Yeah. I think the Raptor's still pretty strong. Parker was talking earlier. He seems really good when you're winning because everyone's running away from you and you can glimpse him back, and that's true. But I think he can still be pretty good in defensive situations. The Static Storm is just such a valuable tool if the opposition get a little too aggressive.
It also kind of forces Faceless Void to get a BKB. If you get glimpsed outside of Chrono, I mean, you just waste 2 spells.
Yeah, and we can't forget about the recent change to Chronosphere. Worth reiterating here, the mana cost increased by 50 at level 2 and I believe 100 at level 3. So now 300 mana for that Chrono when you're past that level 16 mark, making the Refresher Void just a little bit more difficult. Can't quite go hard carry and then 6th item Refresher anymore.
I'm surprised that mana cost didn't get changed when Time Walk got buffed. But at the same time, I don't think anyone saw that, foresaw that Refresher was going to be that big of a item.
This was one of my favorite changes from this little 6.83B patch, though. I think this is just a good way to keep Void relevant, keep him potent, but just stop him from getting that kind of like a free win at that 60-minute mark when he can just Chronosphere and kind of solo the entire other team, which I've certainly seen happen a time or two. But after some deliberation, the Power Rangers choose Rubik for their 2nd support.
Rubik's an interesting pick here. There aren't that many They don't have defensive capabilities versus Juggernaut, really, too. Like, if Faceless Void goes in, he might get chronoed, and no one can really stop him. And Rubik, he can't really stop a Juggernaut either, although it is nice to be able to steal the spells. On the other side,
10 seconds
Venno,
remaining.
you know, Rubik's not that great at stealing any of Venno spells either. The Plague Wars can be mighty annoying, and Disruptor it's just often hard to steal a spell versus Disruptor. Often you just see them like ninja spell down there, but yeah, you get glimpse back and you're just done for. No Field will be pretty useful. The No Field plus Witch Doctor heal to sustain versus Venno magic damage.
A lot of magic damage already for NiP. So we'll see how they continue on here with the Venno. Probably going to the mid lane, safe lane Jug, and then they'll want to pick up their off laner for Jonas.
They've liked Puck a fair amount for him, but I've seen him play some older school ones, such as Nyx Assassin.
Recently?
Recently. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was fairly recent.
What else comes to mind for Jonas? Centaur, I've definitely seen him prioritize a fair bit. Bat Rider, I want to say some, but he's been banned out by Power Rangers, not going to be an option here. The Tidehunter, a very smart fourth ban from PR, would have worked very nicely in this NiP lineup.
And Power Rangers, they've drafted Faceless Void. I think that's going to be a shot slow hero, though, as opposed to a Ditya hero.
That tends to be the way they do it. Ditya likes to play the more kind of hard carries and lets Shotchlo take the positioning tool there with the chrono. But okay, the Ogre Magi for NiP. Talk about from top to bottom. He was first pick, first ban for a little while, and now he's just kind of fallen out of favor. Where's the Ogre love?
Well, he's actually like a melee hero now instead of...
Yeah, he's still tanky as hell, though.
Yeah.
I think he's still pretty potent. PR go with a fourth pick, Shadow Fiend.
I think they're actually one of the teams that pick Shadow Fiend a little bit more than others. He is somewhat difficult to punish in lane, especially when you go for Venomancer. We saw Shadow Fiend pick earlier today, and he just completely crushed the other team. This was Empire Shadow Fiend, and when you have a weak mid like Venomancer and you want a hero to just sit there and farm, Venom is actually not that great of a hero. You just keep on feeding the wards, especially with this huge amount of right-click damage.
I was just going to bring that up, and you kind of have to wait until your wards are at least level 2, or else you're just feeding that Shadow Fiend extra souls and extra money along the way.
We saw the Shadow Fiend team have a Vengeful Spirit babysit the Shadow Fiend a little bit, and at the same time, Venomancer with 1 Gale, it should be a very easy kill on Shadow Fiend.
10 seconds
But he's a natural BKB hero. I think he's actually pretty good versus NiP's lineup, minus the Jugger.
Remaining.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for that tried and true mech build and beef up a little bit in the mid lane, and then go, well, certainly a BKB and then some damage items. Or just skip the mech, go some mobility, maybe go for a fast blink, lots of options.
I don't think Ditya likes the mech so much. He goes like carry items. He does not go like
what does he do, like Midas into Yasha or something, just go farm and then
sort of like
damage.
that Manta, HOD, those sort of items as opposed to the help a team.
Gotcha.
That's generally how they play around him.
Yeah. Troll Warlord, 5th ban for the Ninjas in Pajamas, and Power Rangers will 5th ban the Viper. Looks like there's enough poison on NiP already.
NiP could actually offensive try. It depends on what Power Rangers send to their offlane. Whether they want like a really dedicated offlaner for Cheshire Cat, or they're going to put an
Disruptor Ogre Jug. Interesting. That could be a pretty potent aggro try, but Axe now the final pick for NiP. How will they set up these lanes?
We've seen a lot of Axe recently, and it generally shines against the melee carries, but a Faceless Void is not going to do very well versus an Axe in a one-on-one situation, but I think Shadow Fiend actually just tears Axe apart in the later phase. Like, if you don't get him on a call, you will just die to the Shadow Raises. And on top of that, if you call him and then he died to the Requiem, or you kill him, you might die to the Requiem.
Right. Yeah, there are definitely some issues there. And NiP feeling confident, though. They pick it right into the Shadow Fiend.
I think it's pretty nice if they want to play aggressively early and... Oh, the Necrophos.
Necrophos. So this will be the Shotchlo hero. Power Rangers switching it up a little bit. Necro, a pretty small sample on this patch. I think he's only been picked 14 or 15 times, but he is one of the higher win rate heroes. So still potent. Really fallen out of favor, though.
they don't have that great ways to protect him. They're very reliant on Cheshire Cat's Chronospheres. Without a good Chrono, I mean, it's just going to be insanely difficult for them to win team fights. They're going to need BKB on Shadow Fiend, a lot of items up on Necrophos so he can tank through the Axe combo or through an Omni Slash, and Faceless Void likely not able to get that much farm in this offlane. So, I mean, Power Rangers, if they can get past the first 20, 25 minutes unscathed and then build up their core items, I think they'll be okay. But the laning phase could be a struggle.
Yeah, certainly so. Oh, getting used to these settings again. I feel like every time I sit down at this computer, somebody's changed something. All right, PR. How are they going to set up these lanes? Looks like Shotchlo will take the Necrophos, goes for the double ring of protection. Very strong build for the Necro in lane. He'll go safe lane farming. Seneko takes the Rubik, and he'll be joined by NS, the stand-in here in place of J4. Takes the Witch Doctor for a bit of a safe lane try. That puts Dityaram mid on the Shadow Fiend, going for that fast bottle with a couple of pooled tangos and some GG branches. And, of course, we've got Cheshire Cat. Stout Shield, some regen, and a ward to put down as he will be taking the offlane. So, Dire side, the Ninjas in Pajamas. We'll see how they set up these lanes. They are just turtled up in their jungle right now. Jonas is usually their offlane player, and he does take the axe. I wonder if he'll just try to start in the jungle, perhaps. He's got a couple of pooled tangos.
Well, he's going to be versus 3 ranged heroes if he goes to that offlane, and that's just not what you're looking for when you're laning as an axe.
Yeah,
and I mean, against a Necrophos, too. That Heartstopper aura is going to destroy him.
Yeah. So whether he wants to or not, he'll probably be relegated to the jungle sooner rather than later. Cheshire Cat holding the high ground. Wants this early bounty rune, but uh-oh, there's enemies inbound. Ninjas in Pajamas will box him out, and they will secure the top rune, and PR will grab the bottom bounty for themselves as Seneko scouts it out.
But Cheshire Cat will get eyes on Axe as well as the Juggernaut, so this pretty much guarantees that no one will be in the offlane.
Yeah, 8 Mother takes the Venom mid, and then they will safe lane try. Handskin on the Raptor. Seal Kid takes McGee, and that puts Era on the safe lane farmer and Mr. Juggernaut.
So how are they going to do versus the Faceless Void? I think Faceless Void can actually trade blows versus an Ogre, but he has to be very wary of the Disruptor and Steel Kid. Very smart move over here, making sure the range creep isn't out in front as to not push the wave to their tower.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat, I think he'll be lucky to leech experience here. Already, Steel Kid starting off with an Ignite. Era comes in, gives him a couple of love taps, goes for the Blade Fury level 1. No crit, but yeah, this is going to be tricky for the Void.
At least he's getting experience and not forced to jungle like Jonah some fan is.
Well, they have the pole camp available, so NiP should be able to get lane control back pretty easily and have a sentry ward down. Did not find the ward. The one he placed is still alive, sitting right here, giving him some intel. The other Radiant ward, well, not going to give him a hell of a lot. A little bit of vision into this area, but alas, it is an uncontested offlane.
And Handskin manages to de-ward Cheshire Cat's ward.
Oh, he finds it now. There you go. Second sentry. That is a pretty big warding victory for NiP out of the gate here.
So Ditya only with 2 souls in the mid lane versus 8 Mother. He should start pulling ahead fairly soon. Maybe level 3 when he gets the...
there you go. 8 Mother playing this very smart. Waits till he has the level 2 Plague Ward before he even bothers to level it up.
And he places that on the high ground.
Yep. Very smart.
Cheshire Cat looking to get the 2-minute rune on top, but the 2 supports are inbound. Handskin is level 2 with 1 point Thunderstrike, other point TBD.
Well, Void gets the bounty rune, but will take a lot of damage. Thunderstrike's been leveled up first on the Raptor. Now that'll get him down to about half health or so as he's forced to chew through some more tangos. That set of tangos almost down, only has 1 left. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Power Rangers already grouping up for a push. Necro upgraded one of those rings into a Bassi, and that tower looking to fall pretty soon as Witch Doctor healing him up with first point in Voodoo Restoration. Not often you get to do that, but if it's uncontested, why the hell not? Just knock that tower down and get some bonus gold.
Smoke mid, Handskin and Steel Kid waiting to gank Ditya, but he is playing on the far side of the creep wave. This is going to be a very difficult kill unless 8 Mother gets a...
Well, there you go. He gets it. The Venomous Gale connects. Now the Ignite comes in. Handskin's there, and this will be your first blood for sure. NiP grab it. Handskin gets the bonus gold, and they'll even send Rubik back to where he came from. And Seneko might be okay with that, actually.
Bottom tower has fallen.
I mean, great positioning by Ditya, but unfortunately, even that position can't really save him from that gank.
Yep. So the last hit for the First Blood, yeah, goes to the Disruptor. I'll get him some nice early booties there, 900 gold already. But PR do get something out of it. They knock down that Tier 1 tower, and they're already knocking on the door of this Tier 2.
That's so much experience. I'm surprised one of the supports have not TP'd yet to soak that up. That's like two waves, two free waves at the tower.
I mean, they just have so much sustain that if this is unchecked, they can keep this up for a pretty long time. And sacrificing a Tier 1 in your off lane, that's pretty expected, but it will be a while before they're able to take down this Tier 2. Already Rubik pulling here. We'll do the pull through into some gross mud golems and get some lane control back for Power Rangers so that Necro can farm safely.
And on top of that, Cheshire Cat's not getting completely zoned out. He's almost level 4 minutes in, which is pretty darn good in this situation.
Yeah, especially given that it has been a pretty consistent tri-lane there. Now he gets his boots delivered. Will try to grab this 4-minute rune, but Handskin there with a glimpse back. The time walk down. That's back-to-back bounty runes now for Cheshire Cat, but he doesn't have his get-out-of-jail-free card. Stunned by the Ogre. Lots of DOTs ticking him down, but he will survive the initial onslaught. Had another set of tangos delivered, and that regen will keep him safe. Eats the salve to get topped off.
Very defensive build coming out from Faceless Void.
You got to.
Yeah.
1-1-1. There you go. And Era doing the 1-1-1 himself, 2 points in stats. So level 6 rolls around. He will be able to do the Omni Blade Fury combo. Did also pick up Power Treads early on here. I feel like most jugs these days are going for the Phase Boots Mask of Madness, and here Era doing it a little different.
It depends. I think Treads is pretty darn nice for the attack speed, so you hit that break point a little bit earlier, but Phase, way better for chasing people down with Blade Fury.
Yeah.
Or just right click.
It makes me wonder, do you think he'll still go Mask of Madness on the Power Treads, or could this be the sign of another build?
Typically, you can still do Roche with Mask of Madness Power Treads pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's nice for the attribute swapping, because he actually does have mana issues.
All right, well, we'll see what Era wants to do. How is this Necrophos looking? He picked up something. He had a lot of gold saved up, and it is a hand of Midas recipe. So this Necro will be looking to farm. And why the hell not? If you can get a 5-minute Midas, well, he doesn't have it quite yet, but he's going to have like a 5:30, maybe just shy of 6 minutes Midas. That is a little scary.
I think NiP definitely is going to struggle going to the late game. Disruptor and Ogre are going to have struggles dealing with the BKB. And, I mean, Juggernaut is just not going to be able to do enough damage alone versus the Necrophos and the Witch Doctor. And Axe, if he blinks in, I mean, he's going to have a plethora of spells waiting for him, including Reaper Scythe, which he doesn't really want to blink into. So I think the onus is on NiP to make plays and push down towers, but that's probably not going to come until Axe gets his Blink Dagger, Jugger gets his Mask of Madness, they take Roshan, and PR will be happy to farm up in the meantime.
Yeah, most definitely. So out of the gate, NiP getting much better experience farm. Of course, that is because of the Axe in the jungle. He is taking out this big old fatty stack here. It looks like a 4 stack that he's working on. Jonas getting down very, very low as... oh, there we go. Back into the game. Okay, so where were we, Merlini? 5 minutes in. First blood's been drawn, but PR, that hand of Midas on the way out. How's Dityaral looking? Yeah, just boots bottle. He's recovered from that slow start, 24-3, maxing out those souls, and now finds his level 6.
8 Mother's also been taking a fair amount of raises, so 8 Mother has to feel pretty scared even on his side of the river. A Smoke Ink from Witch Doctor or Rubik could spell a very easy death.
Yeah, Jonas finds his level 6 in the jungle after taking out this big stack. Gets pretty low, but the help of the supports and this time in the jungle, it's done well for the Axe.
There's just no pressure coming out from NiP. They got 1 kill, but it's not enough pressure in the early game. They can clearly see Jug farming up the top lane. Venomancer is rarely going to leave his ballpark of wards. And Ogre and Disruptor, they don't really have enough levels yet. And they also don't have the items that they need. Ogre doesn't even have boots yet. And Axe is just trying to farm his Blink Dagger. So, I mean, it's like a first free 10 minutes for PR, and that's a Necrophos and a Shadow Fiend's heaven.
Yep. Up top, Cheshire Cat will get initiated on. There is a level 2 glimpse. Handskin thinking about it, sends it back. Jonas is there, ready with the Berserker's call. Era coming on in. There is an Omni Slash trying to get in position for it, but won't be able to as Rubik joins the party. Good attempt, but Cheshire Cat will be just fine.
those creeps actually working against them. I think if those creeps weren't there, they would have been able to kill him in the, with the call and Omni Slash.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But at the same time, it does help him spin more when he does get sent back.
Goes both ways.
This is why they really need level 6 on Handskin. That play on with a level 6 Disruptor is almost a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, for sure. Still a ways off, though. Only 4. Seal Kid does find his boots halfway through level 4 on the Ogre himself, and now we'll just start stacking up some Ancients so this Axe can really accelerate his farm. Jonas still being very efficient here, and gets another stack on this hard camp.
But the Yara also gets like a triple stack at least. 2 Trolls and a Centaur cleared out by the Shadow Fiend. Looks like he is going forward an early mech build.
Yep, there's that chainmail picked up already off the back of the power treads.
I think I've usually seen him go Midas, but in this game, a little bit different. Again, all they really need to do is just survive.
Yeah.
Survive past 30, 35.
Yeah, I think double Midas is kind of risky here. NiP is not active yet, but I think this Axe is rushing a Blink Dagger. 1,700 gold, and once Jonas gets that, they'll be looking for kills, and that's where you don't want to be stuck in that 10-minute window when you've got a big net worth lead, but nothing to show for it as it's all invested in those transmute items. So Void, almost level 5, trying to leech as much XP as he can. Overall, still having a pretty good time. Veno in the mid lane, looking for some rune control, throws out the Venomous Gale, connects on the double damaged Shadow Fiend as some reinforcements.
Oh, looking for a glimpse. Can he get it?
Doesn't look like it. Oh, now Dityara in a lot of trouble. Jonas there with the call. But Dityara actually still alive. Here come the raises. It's a double. Oh my gosh. Shotzlow joining the party and making it 3-0. Era on his way in. Gets a little pick-me-up with a solo Omni Slash. But Dityara showing us what the Shadow Fiend's all about. Buckler headdress already. He's already a beefcake.
Well, they just don't have any damage. I mean, Axe isn't going to spin when there's a single target on him. And Disruptor, not level 6, only 1 point Thunderstrike. That's all he really contributes to damage. And Veno, no ulti. I mean, he has his Plague Wards, but that's very slow damage over time. They can't burst him down with the heals from Witch Doctor and Necrophos. And that's really bad for NiP. That was pretty close to the Blink Dagger timing for Axe, which makes these kills a lot cleaner and quicker so that PR can't respond and TP in.
Yeah, that was about the worst time for Axe to die. He was like 150 gold off, 200 off, something like that. And now set back quite a bit. Era, top lane, initiated on Cheshire Cat. Not yet 6, no Chronosphere, and no way to secure this kill. NS looking for the coconuts, but the Blade Fury keeps the Jug safe.
Thank you.
Will be a Mask Madness coming out from Era. Still, he does not have any mana. Handskin.
Yep, Cheshire Cat gets glimpsed back, called, and this should be a kill. There's the dunk. As Jonas turns him into a blood puddle. Now NS stuck inside of the kinetic field. On the run, gets slowed up, but Seneko with a nice telekinesis buys him some time. Seal Kid is on his way in, but the TP from Shotzlow will force NiP back into retreat mode. This is a 5-hero rotation from NiP, though. All the while, Dityara just farming it up in the mid lane, completes his mech, and even though they get a kill out of it, it's very costly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There are just not enough heroes to limit Shadow Fiend's farm or Void's farm. I mean, they can limit Warna other. I mean, they've completely just abandoned Necrophos. They just let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Go to town, Necro. We ain't scared. What build does Shotzlow look at here? He's got 1,800 gold. The mech's already been picked up. Aghanims could be an option, and I think it will be. Point booster grabbed. Could also just be a casual point booster for now as he moves into something else. Dityara. Okay, grabs the invisibility rune, and we'll eat it.
He definitely wants to tank up versus a Juggernaut, and since mech isn't an option for him, he wants to get some sort of HP. The HP items that you usually see, though, are Vid Booster into a Rod of Atos, or some casual bracers. I've even seen like a Blade Mail.
Bottom. Oh, the Soul Pop on Handskin. Glimpses in back, but Dityara secures it with the long-range raise.
He's been on point with all his raises.
Yeah, they saw that invisibility rune picked up, though. They saw him eat it. That's just bad positioning from the Raptor.
He really wanted a level 6.
Yeah.
The greed ended up getting him.
Yeah,
Era trying to solo Roche with him -1 armor.
This is not going to happen, actually. He doesn't have the damage. Shotzlow walks on in. That's an easy Reaper's Scythe. He gets off the spin, but it just doesn't matter. Oh, my. It's getting disastrous for NiP here, Merlini. Things very quickly getting out of control.
Such good play from PR. I mean, look at Cheshire Cat's position. He's like behind the tower in top lane, and that's just very obvious that Jug is up to something.
Yeah, he's going to cut the creep wave, and this top tier 1 tower going to take a tumble pretty soon here.
Dire
do have a glyph, and they will start making a rotation. But they need to get here soon. I don't think they're going to make it in time. Or will they? Cheshire Cat finishes off the tower. Time walk into the trees. Does have a chrono, but will opt just to TP home, and that's going to be it. All right, easy peasy for Power Rangers. That makes it 2-0 in total tower count now as they pull further into the lead.
And Axe has his Blink Dagger, but I think it's of limited effectiveness. Usually you're like, oh man, Void or Axe has a Blink Dagger at this point, but no one's really that scared. Necrophos and Shadow Fiend are not going to die to him alone. And Shadow Fiend even going back for a Hand of Midas post-mech.
Wow. Showing some confidence here. Ditya knows how far ahead they are, and, well, what do you do when you're ahead? Get further ahead.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think NiP is just going to try and farm up. If he were worried that NiP was actually going to try and fight them a lot, I think he might have gotten a different item. But he's like, well, they know that they're really far behind. They're going to play passively, and I'm just going to play passively and farm up because I'm a Shadow Fiend. I will farm faster than all of their heroes.
And they know that Necros had, like, run of the map. He's looking at, like, a 15-minute Aghanims here. He's only 700 gold away. So at this point, just beat greed with better greed. Now PR, they smoke up. Ditya doesn't even have his Midas delivered yet, and they're just ready to fight. They're going to do the whole wrap around mid. Ape Mother could find himself in trouble. No, they'll move into the jungle, and who do they find? It's going to be Era. No Omni Slash available. Chronosphere, Death Ward straight away. The Juggernaut gets put 6 feet under. Now Jonas blinks aggressively in. What a bold play. Goes for the dunk, can't get it. Now Ape Mother comes in with the Poison Nova. NiP running in one at a time. And it could be costly. Handskin with a big ultimate on 3. Is it enough, though? Ditya just tries to TP home. He will not make it out. NS sustaining as much as he can. His PR getting low, but Ape Mother, the next target, will fall. NiP still in some trouble. Now around the backside, Seal Kid comes in. He goes down. There's only one left. It's Handskin, and this is soon to be a full 5-man wipe if they can close this gap. Cheshire Cat has a time walk up in about 3 seconds, and they will not commit for it. Still a huge victory for the Power Rangers. Glimpse to the low ground on Cheshire Cat, right into an Omni Slash. Nicely done to get a pick-me-up. Still huge victory for PR. And, oh, Rubik steals the Omni. Maybe not a victory after all.
Big plays by Disruptor. 2 glimpses, 2 kills, and one on the very, very important to kill Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. So not all bad for NiP, but end of the day, it is still a 2-for-4 trade, about a 1,200 net worth gain for Power Rangers. And Shachlo still getting big. That will secure his Aghanim Scepter. And he does not. Okay, he goes for the Blink Soul Ring. So it looks like it'll be a Bloodstone instead of the Ags.
I like the Bloodstone a little bit more. The Ags upgrade is mediocre.
It's mediocre at 14 minutes in. Nobody's going to be buying back.
Well, it's not only that. Like the cooldown doesn't scale that well. It's not like Faceless Void's Chronosphere upgrade, where you get like a pretty significant cooldown reduction. It's not that great for him. And a lot of times Reaver Scythe is overkill. Just a lot of overkill, and you just simply use it for the respawn.
The Bloodstone, a bit more of a snowbally item, and given that PR have this momentum, maybe makes some more sense. NiP, they smoke up, but it gets broken. Jonas gets initiated on as he hops forward. Rubik uses that stolen Omni Slash, takes him low. There's the Reaper Sight. They chop his head off. Seneko survives thanks to the mech from Ditya. Oh my gosh, PR constantly in the right place at the right time. Seneko glimpse to interrupt the TP. He will end up going down, but now NiP have to commit. A nice kinetic field will stop him in place, but the Coconuts, Merlini, they're bouncing around. NiP getting locked down. And PR still playing this a bit more passive. Cheshire Cat on his way in. He's got a Chronosphere. Can he catch some stragglers? He'll grab Ape Mother. Barely grabs Era, but a nice glimpse sends the Void back, and that will keep NiP safe.
Those
Raptor. Those coconuts.
That Venomancer ward set it all up for them. He got vision of the TPing Rubik, and thinking that he was on the high ground with a Sentry ward, thought, oh yeah, there's no way they can see me up here.
Yep.
Great Disruptor play from Handskin.
Yeah, he's been on point, but still a 1-for-1 trade. I guess not the worst for NiP, but certainly not what they were hoping for. I think they had a clean kill in mind. Ape Mother will go for a mech on this Venomancer as he lays into Cheshire Cat here in the mid lane. And wow, just look at that damage as the Void gets pushed back.
Handskin walks up into Ditya, gets double raised.
And Death Ward from the high ground secures it by NS. Nicely done. And all right, right, stolen ignite, telekinesis onto 8 Mother. He gets off a Poison Nova, but Zyori's there with the raises. Seal Kid with a 2x into an Omni Slash. That will secure the kill on the Shadow Fiend, and finally NiP makes some progress. Will Rubik actually die to the poisons? Oh, he's sipping the bottle. Oh my gosh, that was so close for Seneko. Well done.
Well done indeed.
So let's glance at the graph here. PR holding on to a 5,000 gold and experience lead. So even though these skirmishes have been kind of break-evens, it still isn't really clawing NiP into the lead.
They always have someone farming on PR during these engagements. Yeah, sure, Shadow Fiend died, but Necrophos was down bottom farming the jungle, the lane. Looking at the net worth, it's just a big problem that Jug is this far behind. He's 3,400 gold behind the Necrophos, and that's pretty significant considering that's half his net worth.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have that great farm accelerators. Usually Mask of Madness is pretty good because you can get Roshan, but that's not an option.
Yeah, already been denied once. Hasn't tried it since, though. Roche is still standing. PR in the meantime, go to the tier 1 mid. Glyph comes out from the Dire. Venom Wards doing what work they can, but this is a full 5-hero rotation from Power Rangers. Meanwhile, NiP in the top lane with 2, trying to split push. Radiant will Glyph, and now they may get set up for a defense. Cheshire
Sick
Cat.
deny from 8 Mother.
TP's the tier 2. Oh, wow. And a glimpse back onto NS. No follow-up. Okay, well, good deny, but those are 2 Roche access points taken out.
Cheshire Cat going for a Mask of Madness rather than a BKB. Still thinking that he can power through the glimpse. Or if he gets Disruptor himself, it's...
NS, short-range clips there. He'll be okay. NiP are still trying to stay aggressive, though. I like that they're trying to utilize this Axe Blink to make something happen.
They have to.
Execution's been a little shaky, but at least they've got the right general strategy in mind here.
They absolutely have to keep up their aggression as possible.
Axe has a Blade Mail complete, just needs to get a turn with the Courier. Step in the right direction. Good against the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend working on a BKB, it looks like. Ogre Club already with 1,200 to boot. Not too shabby.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Shachlo constantly checking the Roche pit,
Yep.
making sure that Jug isn't doing it. It's just so important that they deny Era any sort of farm and any ticket back into the game.
Yeah, Shachlo will go ahead and complete his Bloodstone now. Again, just needs to turn on the Courier, but has that recipe ready and waiting. Witch Doctor TP's up top. Looks like PR want to be the aggressors this time around. Cheshire Cat hiding in the tree line. Let's take a look at Dire Vision. They do not scout him out. Cheshire Cat sees him, though. They won't even need the Chronosphere for this kill on Seal Kid, as the Death Ward comes out, and they make it happen. Now, Time Walk over the tree line. Hanskin caught inside of the Chronosphere. Solo Chrono for the Raptor, but 2-0 as they pick off the NiP supports.
It's getting rough.
I'm sure is. Oh, nice lift from Seneko down bottom as Jonas hops forward. What a reaction.
He did have a ward there.
True. All right, fine.
Still pretty impressive.
It's still good. It's not the easiest thing to do. I don't know. Axe might not have shift queued it, but still. Oh, now Seneko gets caught by the call. And yeah, I think this time he's going to go down. Blade Mail from Jonas making it even easier. But all the while, Power Rangers, they're getting work done. They're pushing this tier 2 in the top lane. And NiP, they will TP back. Era stays down bottom to try and pressure this tower. Radiant don't have a glyph. And this may just be a tower for tower exchange. Now the TPs come in. NiP will make a defense. There is no Chronosphere, and they know it. Glimpse back into Static Storm, Kinetic Field. The Void goes down. And now the rest of PR back it on out.
Dire's middle tower is under
Let's see what Shadow Fiend transitioning into. It looks like a BKB for him. Still going for more HP, being that tanky guy. He's also just tired of dying in Omni Slash or getting glimpsed back, both of them being a pain in his rear.
Yeah.
Does Shadow Fiend have a rear?
The glimpse in particular. Not really. It's pretty misty down there. I'm not really sure what's going on in his nether region. Jonas on the run. He has an Ogre Club, either a Halberd or a BKB of his own. I would imagine it's a BKB, but not the best BKB game either. Now Jonas initiated on, tries to TP home. No, Shachlo can't get off the ultimate while he's taunted. Smart play from the Axe. Heads up, fast reaction time before the Witch Doctor could get in with the stun.
And I think NiP still has to keep fighting before PR gets BKBs. Once Faces Void and Shadow Fiend get a BKB, it's going to be very difficult for them to kill anyone outside of Omni Slash.
It'll be a while before Cheshire Cat gets one. He grabs Gloves of Haste. Looks like he's committing towards a Maelstrom. But SF basically has his BKB at this point if he chooses to pick it up ASAP.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures
Early gem
are
picked up.
fortified.
Yep. Oh, up top, Cheshire Cat goes in onto Era with the Chronosphere. TP's in. Death Ward outside of the Chrono, but Era survives. Now they try to turn on the Cheshire Cat. Dityara comes in with the mech. Void still alive, but the Omni Slash brings him down. Dityara getting low. Now the Static Storm will finish him off, but PR still with some options here. Handskin low. He falls, as does Seal Kid. It's a 2 for 3, and it's PR ahead once more.
And Reaper on Jug just further limiting his farm. I mean, he was already dead. He just like, screw you, Jugger. You're not buying back. You're not farming for another 80
Dire's
seconds.
bottom tower is under attack.
That is something that's often overlooked with Necro. It's usually kind of coined as like, oh, it's so annoying that you don't get to come back early. But you do it on a carry, that's precious time that he could be farming. And that does add up.
Radiant's
Yeah, they
middle
really
tower
don't care if
is
the
under
Axe
attack.
and Venomancer get that much farm, just because Axe is going to be very vulnerable to... I mean, everyone's scared of Reaper's Scythe. Aside from Venom, I guess. As long as he gets his ulti off, I don't think he really cares.
And that'll put Necro now up to 11 Bloodstone charges and another 3,200 gold. Maybe a Shiva's Guard coming the way for Shotchlo. A good item on the Necro Foes. Pretty good against the Jug, I'd say.
Pipe would be nice.
Yeah, Pipe would be nice as well.
Shiva's is really good here.
Yeah. So, Cheshire Cat goes in onto Jonas. No Chrono, but does he need it? Uh-oh, Axe getting a lot of spins. Can he get the dunk? Yes, he sure can. A close call, but Cheshire Cat getting a little too excited about that one.
Was Reaper just off cooldown? That's
Maybe
the most logical reason why he would go for that play.
I think it was just coming up. I honestly didn't look when he hopped in. Manta now out on the Jug, so Era's still finding some farm. Actually catching up to that Shadow Fiend, only about 900 net worth behind. Rather impressive given how far behind he was. And whoa, Jonas, now he gets caught. Shotchlo gives him the sight.
Well, Shadow Fiend's just constantly sacrificing his life so that...
Ape Mother, he goes walking on in to 3 heroes. Very brave, but he will survive. The mech keeps him alive. A 3 cast onto Shotchlo brings him down. The Death Ward doing a lot of damage here as it comes flying through. Dityara comes in to take out the trash, but can he actually do it? Era getting low. Static Storm, stolen Static Storm by PR. Now they're going to lose a fight. It's the fight that NiP needed. And maybe after that they can claw their way back in as Era heads right to the Roche Pit.
And they just leave the gem behind.
Oh my gosh. Did they give it back to the Void? Where is it? Oh, it's still sitting on the ground. Is he going to find it? He gets glimpsed back. Cheshire Cat, another 3x from the Seal Kid. Oh my Lanta. There's a gem just hanging out in the jungle. Wow. And Shotchlo gets it. Okay. So NiP, Merlini, that's a 4,000 net worth change, 1 for 5, and now Roshan.
Yeah,
look at that gold graph. It's zeroed out after that. They're right back in this game.
I'm still surprised they haven't gone for BKBs yet. I guess Shadow Fiend has one, but Faces Void and Necrophos also not opting for one. I mean, Bloodstone's pretty decent. The Venomancer just did so much damage. He just went in and he's just like, I don't even care if I die. As long as I get my ulti off, Jug is going to be able to clean up.
And now he has Aghanim, so it's going to be even more potent this next time around. And maybe that pipe you were talking about on the Necro is going to be even more necessary. What does he buy? Oh, he goes into Aghanims. So no pipe, no Shivas. Now BKB completed on Axe, so I think that's the second BKB this game. Yep, 1 apiece.
Yeah, BKB's pretty important on the side of NiP just to dodge that Reaper Scythe and the huge magic damage coming out from Shadow Fiend. Still, they are going to need armor, right clicks from Shadow Fiend, Death Ward, as well as Faces Void putting on a significant chunk of damage there. I mean, and with that, we see Juggernaut finally overtake Shadow Fiend in terms of net worth, and NiP still with not as great late game, but this definitely is a huge lifeline for them.
This actually gives them a chance. Before that fight, it looked like PR might be able to run away with this after 1 or 2 more good team fights and start looking towards that high ground before too long. But now it's NiP who can afford to be aggressive. They will smoke up Era with an Aegis and a level 3 Omni Slash ready. Time Walk will keep Cheshire Cat safe. Glimpsed back, but a Chronosphere used defensively this time around stops Era and Handskin dead in their tracks. And Seal Kid takes out a ward there. Nice victory.
Radiant's top tower is under
The
attack.
power of glimpse.
Yeah, now Handskin,
Radiant's
he's
top
closing in
tower
on
has
Aghanims
fallen.
himself. About 1,100 gold away, and BKBs for PR are going to become a little more difficult to use.
And yeah, PR actually feeling threatened now. They've fed Jug enough, and Axis does have a BKB, and he is not really that scared either. Axis is kind of just creating space for Juggernaut. Shadow Fiend kind of dying a lot in the team fights to make space for Necrophos. Oh,
Does
no.
he steal the kinetic field era? Will Blade Fury through it as Seneko tries to TP out? Omni Slash used? No, never mind. That was just the Manta Illusions. Sounded like Omni Slash for a second. So he'll TP out. No harm done.
Looking to just stall while the Aegis is up on the side of NiP.
Yeah, they've got still a good window with it, about 2 minutes, a little bit more. Void may be regretting his choice to go into this Maelstrom, though he does pick up the Mithril Hammer. Maybe he can just switch it up into a BKB if he feels he needs it.
Yeah, someone is going to die to Juggernaut. There's kind of no way around it, especially after that last fight. I thought they could like group up with healing Voodoo Restoration as well as Necro Heal and the mech, but the Event ult just does way too much damage to heal through. For the most
Cheshire
part.
Cat, Mask of Madness needs to be careful. Jonas using that BKB and will miss the call. On the other side, Death Ward using the tree line. Handskin getting low. Shotchlo hops forward, but Static Storm Kinetic Field can't finish him off with the Reaper's Scythe, and the mech tops him off. No kills coming out quite yet, but Cheshire Cat now initiated on. Another 3x from Seal Kid. Holy RNGesus.
That mana cost nerf. If it were 2 days ago, he could have intred swapped and then gone for the chrono. But with the new patch, he wasn't even close. He had like 163 mana.
Tower is under attack.
Sad times for this Faceless Void. NiP getting another one up on the scoreboard here and grabbing a little bit more momentum. Looking at this gold graph, barely in their favor, but they are taking the experience edge. Tier 2 in the bottom lane will fall.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, that'll be the next objective they get off that pick.
Witch Doctor halfway the Scepter, I suppose. And Rubik looks like he did end up getting his gem back.
Illusion.
Yeah, Necro picked it up after that last fight when it was sitting in the jungle. But Aghanims galore this game. Ogre closing in on his for the Dire. He's one piece away, and now the Raptor, very, very close, only about 200 gold away. Veno now picks up a Blink Dagger after his Aghanims, ready to get in position. Also finds level 16, so that Kamikaze Poison Nova, particularly potent right now.
I think they just really need to kill the Jug early on in fights, and unfortunately, they don't actually have any instant cast spells. Reaper, Scythe cast time, and same with Chronosphere. And if he gets off a Manta or an Omnislash before one of those, it is just they're just going to get turned around on. And it's just so important that they have some sort of way to go in the Juggernaut cleanly.
They've got a smoke on Witch Doctor here. Looks like they will group up and use it at the tier 2 mid. Yep, sure will. Necro's in the top lane. Maybe he'll be the one that baits it out. Juggernaut completes an MKB as his item after Manta.
MKB versus what other damage items do we usually see? Scepter, Butterfly, HOD. MKB is nice as a preventative measure versus Shadow Fiend and Faceless Void, who are both great Butterfly carriers.
It's a Jug illusion, and they know it. They won't initiate on it, but say goodbye to your smoke. Double damage rune on Dit Yara, and fortunately for Power Rangers, they won't be able to make good use of it. So Shadow Fiend, he's got an ultimate orb here. I wonder what he's working on. Could be a Scotty, could be a Hex.
I think Scotty's really nice for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a blink, so I don't think you can get a Hex
Has to
if
be
you don't have a blink.
Hex. Yeah.
Yeah, Blink Hex or Shadow Blade Hex, or I don't know, just some way to get that sort of instant jump.
Yeah.
Without it, it's just way too clunky. It could also be a Manta style, but I think he'd go Yasha first if he were going for a Manta style.
Yeah. Especially since he has 2,400 gold. Well, time will tell. The Aghanims is completed on the Raptor, so now PR need to be very cautious about how they take these fights. Of course, for the newcomers out there, silences items and increases the duration up to 7 seconds. So if you get caught in that static storm, you will not be able to use that BKB.
And Didyara has mostly been dying to, what, Omni Slash, as well as Veno ulti. So,
yeah.
I mean, he can either go like a Satanic Lifesteal build or just a mass HP build with Manta Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, it's been Omni Slash, just been a mixture of things. They've got a lot of DOTs. They've just got a lot of damage in general. I still think Pipe has got to be an item they pick up at some point this game. Maybe something Shotchlo considers coming up soon. 2,100 gold, though. He will need inventory slots. Shadow Fiend, surprising us both here, perhaps. Dityara ends up with the Manta style and just takes a slightly different item path than you might have expected.
Manta style is just great at taking the Juggernaut ulti.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir. And now the Maelstrom also up on the Void. So not going to stop off for the BKB like you were talking about. We'll just go for the damage items as Axe starts making progress towards his Aghanim Scepter now.
It's just so easy to kill the Void over and over when he doesn't have a Chronosphere. Or, sorry, when he doesn't have a BKB. Disruptor can just primarily keep his gaze focused on the Disruptor. Shadow Fiend, not really an item because he has a... He already has BKB. The Necrophos has like a lot of HP, but unless you're going to glimpse him back into like a Static Storm, it's not going to be that great. And Faceless Void is the main one. As long as they keep him under farm, it's kind of like 2 core versus 2 core.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Necro, he will commit to a BKB as his next item. As the 2 core pieces here gets glimpsed, but blinks back to safety, and that will be an unsuccessful gank attempt from NiP. Power Rangers grouping up in their jungle, and everyone's just kind of sitting back and farming right now. Holding on to the gem that Sneko picked up. Will be NS for now. Level 11 on the Doctor, and still about 1,800 gold till he gets his Aghanim Scepter. An item that kind of couldn't come too soon for Power Rangers. It's a potential game changer. And Era Ogre Club, is that a BKB coming out for him? I think most likely.
Looks like it.
Yep. And there's the Aghanims on Ogre. Aghanims galore. 3 on the Dire, 1 on the Radiant, and there's at least 1 more on the way.
So finally they have Blink left on Sneko. That's pretty big. That's the really quick initiation that they're looking for before Jug can spin or Manta or use anything defensive.
Yeah. All right, so Power Rangers, both sides really, not just Power Rangers, very committed to their side of the map. Everyone just in this kind of mid-game lull, looking to finish up this next round of core items. And
it's the pre-Roshan lull.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Waiting for the other side to perhaps make a mistake. Let's just take a look at general vision around the Roche Pit. Radiant do have a couple wards down, 1 on the high ground here. And Dire, they've got, well, Veno wards and some observers down. We'll see a jump at the secret shop here. Handskin, solo chrono as NS stuns him up. They lock him down and secure the kill. Meanwhile, in the lane, Jonas on the run. Rubik trying to pursue, does have a haste rune, will find the lift and Fade Bolt. Shotchlo coming on in, needs to wait out the Blade Mail before he drops the hammer, and, well, he will do just that. Shotchlo gets another one up on the scoreboard now, and 2-0 in that top lane.
At the same time, space created. NiP secured yet another Aegis for Era.
Yep, Roche will go down uncontested, and there it is, Aegis of the Immortal. Are PR looking at like a high ground push here? What are they doing? Axe is down for 75 seconds, no buyback, so maybe they'll use this window with a 10-second BKB on the Necro to just take a 5v4 and see what they can do.
I don't think they have a good way to heal from Veno ulti, though.
It feels very risky, and yeah, they're not going to go for it.
Unless they get a kill on Necro, and he gets a Sadist running very early on in the fight.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Actually, I guess he has Bloodstone. He won't actually have mana issues.
2,400 HP up on the Necrophos. Shadow Fiend, 2,500 gold past the Manta style. And where do you go from here? Butterfly, not really an option out. The BKBs, or pardon me, the MKBs already come out. So I think the Scotty is still the way you go for Dityara here. Just have to outlast all that DOT damage.
Or he can get a crit. I think they just need to kill Juggernaut very early on into the fight.
Well, it gets a little harder now as he completes his BKB. So Era a bit tankier, and PR will probably just play a bit more defensive for the next 5 minutes just to wait out that Aegis. Really no reason to force a skirmish right now. Looking at the graphs, pretty even. So PR not really getting out farmed right now. They do have that luxury of being able to sit back and keep this game even. Another double damage for Zyori.
Man, this mid game went so much better than I expected for NiP.
Yeah.
The Venomancer, I mean, he's kind of that pick where it's like, oh, is he really doing that much damage? But almost every time after I check at the end of the game, damage done by Venomancer, it's always like top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
Even if they lose, he's just so darn annoying.
Initiate on to Seal Kid. Shotslow comes in. Another 3x multicast. Now Cheshire Cat flies through, but Jonas, he's not in the Chronosphere. Death Ward's down doing a lot of damage. They get the kill on Veno. Now Seal Kid will try to bring him down, but they won't. They'll lose their Void. It's a fast 2 for 2. Now the Omni Slash comes flying on through. Axe will buy back, as will the Veno. NiP, they want to win this fight and punish PR. Zyori glimpsed back, stuck in the kinetic field, and he will die. Buybacks from NiP, proving worth it, and that fight will end as a 2 for 4.
Venomancer ulti.
Everyone on Power Rangers have a buyback available that is in the grave. Don't know that they'll need to use them, but their high ground will be safe.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wow.
Radiant structures are fortified.
NiP just exploding in this mid game, busting it wide open, 22-22 in hero kills, but they will take the gold and experience lead. Now initiation, Rubik blinks out fast again, those quick fingers, but they look at the high ground. Glyph was used for the tier 2. Maybe PR thinking they wouldn't try to push this. Shadow Fiend does buy back in preparation. Witch Doctor and Void on the way, but they don't have their ultimates. Still 10 seconds on the Death Ward and 50 on the Chronosphere. Aegis still with plenty of time left to make this push happen. NiP get the tier 3 tower. Merlini, is this barracks?
It looks like it. They're definitely threatening it. And Era is just fat right now. Healing Ward stolen by Rubik. This is actually fairly big for them, and maybe they can survive through the Healing Ward, especially since Necrophos has 2,500 HP and Zyori has almost 2,000. Healing Ward is going to be huge for them.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of the first Empire vs. Fire game. It was like looking kind of close, and then boom. One kill leads to Roche, leads to more one-team fights, leads to a ton of towers and a base push.
Yeah, NiP get a ward down in the base before they leave, so get a little bit of vision on that high ground, and if they want to try to push to break the barracks, it will be relatively easy for him. Disruptor now gets the Blink Dagger to go with his Aghanim Scepter, and positioning for him gets a hell of a lot easier. Axe closing on the Aghanims, about 1,200 gold to go. Ogre's got an Ags. Oh, man. Team Aghanim Scepter. Jug now moving into BOTs with 1,500 gold to boot. I don't know. What do you think here, Merlini? What are the chances that NiP actually win this?
Pretty high. I mean, they don't have a good way to deal with the Juggernaut. He's gotten to that, like, the game plan was, okay, they're going to get tanky enough so that they can tank through Omni Slash. Like a Shadow Fiend with a Manta and Mech, and the Necrophos healing him. Reasonably,
Witch Doctor healing, yeah.
Witch Doctor healing. Reasonably, they should be able to tank through the Juggernaut, but Juggernaut just...
Ooh, Cheshire Cat jumped on, stunned. Jonas misses the dunk, but it doesn't matter. Void will be stuck in the grave. No buy. Oh, he does have a buyback available. He'll use it straight away as they start chipping at the barracks, and NiP, I think, happy to force out the buyback, and now just want to minimize their losses. They know there's a Chrono and a Death Ward, and that is a deadly duo.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think their game plan was to tank through the Juggernaut Omni Slash, but he's just gotten to that point, that critical mass, where he is the Juggernaut.
Is this the dieback?
Oh,
that was very close. I think if Void dies there, that is the end of the mid lane of barracks.
And all this unanticipated damage from the Venomancer is just way too brutal for them.
Yeah. Now the smoke from Power Rangers. Feeling that they're on the back foot, they will press forward, but Era, he breaks the smoke, will go ahead and Blade Fury, gets hit by the Reaper's Scythe, and now the Chronosphere, even a Death Ward. 3 big ultimates to kill the Jug. They certainly bring him down, but was that worth it?
I think so. It was like right after the Aegis expired, and it just gives them much needed momentum. They finally repel NiP from their side of the map, and now they can force a Juggernaut buyback.
And they might be able to. 1,500 gold there. They do not have creeps with them, so unfortunately won't be able to move right into this tower. Instead, they just move through the jungle as Axe. There you go. 4th Aghanim Scepter for the ninjas in their pajamas.
Man, these Ags upgrades. I mean, their supports just scale a lot better, especially when PR's items aren't coming in anytime soon. Actually, NS almost has a Scepter. He's just 350 gold away.
He's getting there.
But I mean, Ogre with like unlimited stuns versus like a Death Ward. I don't know.
It really comes down to the chrono, I think, for this upgraded Death Ward. If you can get that money chrono and those Death Wards are just bouncing all over, the pulses or whatever they're called are bouncing all over the place, that's where it's at. Shadow Fiend's nearby, you get that presence of the Dark Lord aura for all that physical damage. It can get pretty scary pretty quick, but there is a lot riding on the back of Cheshire Cat to set it up and make it possible.
He still has no BKB.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's like a Mithril Hammer and some change away, but I'm not going to have it in the next few minutes, that's for sure.
And, I mean, this is one of the downfalls of not getting a BKB earlier. He's just constantly going to die to the Disruptor over and over again. And, I mean, he's just focusing most of his efforts on him, as he should be. He is the most vulnerable target. He is just so important to keep down so you don't get that BKB refresher, like 20 seconds of uptime void that we see a lot of the time. And on top of that, he doesn't have enough items to tank through Omni Slash. He has a pretty low HP pool, so that Axe can just chop him up.
Dityara with 4,000 gold, closing in on another big item choice, and Seneko gets a Ghost Scepter. So we'll probably see some more Ghost Scepters coming out as the jug continues to grow. And there it is. Aghanim's on the Witch Doctor. Not quite level 16, so still has a little ways to go, but big, big item for Power Rangers there.
I deserve this.
And Juggernaut really only has, I mean, I guess he can swap out his Mask of Madness later, but at this point, he might want to get a Diffusal Blade out.
Oh, here we go. Call actually misses on Dityara. Now the Witch Doctor ulti flies through, does a little bit of damage. Shacho, the BKB on, goes on to Jonas, gets off the Reaper Scythe, but can't find the kill. Now, Chrono from Cheshire Cat isolates 8 Mother and Seal Kid, but Dityara caught by the Omni. Brings him down as Era has a double damage. Faceless Void falls as well. On the other side of the fight, Seneko chopped down by the Axe. Now NS on the run. Multi after multi. It's a 4-0. The Ninjas in Pajamas go straight for the base.
Clutch heal by 8 Mother. He healed the Axe while he was being Reapered. And then he ended up surviving, got healed up by Healing Ward, and boom, transitioned into the high ground push. Think this could be it? Faceless Void has no buyback?
It's a 5,000 net worth swing. Buybacks looking very grim. Necro with the only one available. And of course, he is also the only one alive. The lone defender. He's got an Oblivion staff picked up, but not going to do a hell of a lot here. Mid lane of Barracks have already fallen. Bottom lane to fall shortly. There is a Radiant Glyph. Do they tap out here? Do NiP go for the win? Do they? Wow, they back out. They play it safe. There is a tier 2 tower in the top, so no option for Megas. They probably could have at least taken one of the tier 4s, but not going to risk it for the biscuit.
It's a very dangerous play, especially when Roshan is coming out very soon. And NiP's been playing very smartly around the Roshan timer. Around that 7:30 to 8 minute mark, they just play very, very defensively. They're always grouped up in case PR wants to try to aggressive smoke on them and just do a good job of winning that team fight right before.
Damn it. Stupid chat wheel is bound to this like key on the mouse that I keep hitting by accident. My pinky keeps poking it. It's a weird mouse, man.
Don't you want to say affirmative? Don't give up, PR?
Yeah, well played. Okay. Oh, the refresher jug is here, Merlini. Oh my. Does he have the mana to sustain this? 700 for both Omnis, and then the 375 from Refresher.
Not right now.
Yeah. Now, do they have Arcane Boots on their team? One set on Disruptor, and I don't even think that's going to be enough. Era no longer has the treads for that extra bit of int. An interesting pickup.
Any of these heroes died at one Omni slot right now.
Yeah.
No one has Ghost Scepter aside from Rubik, but he is just way in the back. Oh, PR going for the YOLO smoke. Before Roshan, it's almost a max duration. Roshan respawned at about 2:45, and PR will be headed there very close to that time, and they are actually not in the pit. Everyone is missing on the map.
We're looking at the PR vision. They're completely blind. No wards down. They see nothing.
They know they're smoked, though. They actually saw the chicken come by.
Oh, NiP hold the high ground here. Let's look at the NiP vision. They see the Necros. His smoke got broken. The jig is up for Power Rangers, but they'll walk into the pit anyhow. Oh, this is the fight they need to make. Creeps pushing into the mid, will move into the tier 4s, taking out some of those safety structures. NiP being very cautious, waiting for PR to commit somewhere. They've got the vision control with those plague wards, and PR will just back out. Are
They
gonna
almost
hand
got
this Roche
Cheshire
over?
Cat again. That was so close.
Not the effigies. PR is just going to hand it over. They realize they can't contest it.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Again,
attack.
NiP just
So
play
smart.
very smartly around the Roshan pit. They're like, well, if you guys are just going to stalemate, we're going to wait for our two sides to push in. And what are they going to do? Let their T4s fall for free while we're just waiting for the Roshan? They can't let that happen. At the same time, if they commit up the hill, one of them's going to get solo Omni slashed and or just axe called.
Well,
And also, they can't fight into the wards. No one can blink.
yeah.
Actually, they don't have any blinks. Actually, they have one on Necrophos, but
Did you
they haven't been able to get the jump on Juggernaut. I think that's
I think Ra's going Assault Cross here. He's picked up a plate mail. Interesting. Jug is the one to take the Aegis of the Immortal. Maybe this is the general strategy with the Refresher as like the game-winning item here. Omni, refresh, die, come back with full health, full mana, and another fresh Omni. It's one way to do it if you don't have the mana pool.
and if you don't kill him, healing wards galore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 2 Omni slashes.
Can you
DD
can you make
Bloodlust.
2 healing wards, or is it one of those like singleton things where like Necro where it despawns if you
I
do
think
another
it's one of those singleton things.
Okay. Double healing ward sounds kind of broken.
Actually, you might be able to cast 2, but I don't think
They don't stay alive at the same time. Radiant's Courier dies, but here we go. Fight breaks out. Shotchlo in an awkward place. NiP taking a lot of damage. The Death Ward doing so much work. Oi, oi, oi. NiP, they're getting cleaned up. The Aegis goes down. It's PR coming out ahead. 8-Mother manages to get off the ultimate. His BKB's on. He'll eat the cheese. He lives. Now the Omni Slash flies through. Cheshire Cat hops to the low ground. That will stop it. Refresh. There's another Omni available. A glimpse back. Cheshire Cat will go down. NiP still have a chance here. No buybacks used following this skirmish, but Seneko in a lot of trouble. The refresher from Era making a lot of plays happen. The Ghost Scepter keeps Seneko alive. It's a 3v3 on the field, but another... Oh, I keep hearing those Mantas thinking it's an Omni Slash. 8-Mother getting low. Not enough mana for the Omni.
And there's the healing ward to back him up.
Top tower is under attack.
Okay.
That was a sick death ward by MS in the low ground.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was.
And they still couldn't even really win the fight there. They managed to kill Juggernaut, but he also got very unlucky with his Omni Slash bounces. He Omni Slashed the heroes on the low ground and it bounced to the creeps on the high ground and ended on the high ground.
I'll take that as tribute.
Was a good time walk from Void, though. Perfectly placed. Well, PR hang on a little bit longer. They lose their Tier 2 tower in this top lane, so it is just this barracks here that is keeping them in it. Dire gets some wards down before they retreat on the plateau and on this little cliff here. So they're in good shape to try that push once more. They also have the plateau and the jungle warded. Lots of eyes on the immediate area around the PR base. $14,000 gold, 10,000 experience. The lead for NiP right now. Axe will be stuck in the grave, compliments to that Reaper's Scythe, but he's got a Reaver of his own. This Axe is pretty damn beefy at this point.
You usually don't worry about getting out laking with the Shadow Fiend, a Faceless Void, and a Necrophos on your team, and a Witch Hunt with Ags. But they are getting out late game. The Jug is just doing whopping amounts of damage, and Era has played fantastically this game.
Yeah, Panskin bumps right into Shotchlo, who does have a Refresher and a BKB available. BKB's the Glimpse, and he'll be okay. That was a 9-second BKB charge, though.
Better than dying.
Yeah.
And now Shotchlo has a Refresher. So
Yep.
this game is not yet over. Sure, NiP is up 2 racks, but a Reaper on a Jug and a Reaper on an Axe could easily be game, and I think most of it does depend on the Chronosphere from Faceless Void. And
He
on
still
top of
doesn't
that,
have a BKB, by the way. That buyback he had to burn really hurt him. And their Courier will be coming back up soon.
I mean, 2 and 11 on Void.
Oh, the Hyperstone is what was on the Courier. I had the wrong hero selected, so yeah, the Assault Kuros for Ditira will be completed once the Courier comes back up. That'll help PR in this next fight. Era. So you're going to find Shotchlo here, uses the Healing Ward, but still can't get vision. Oh, so close. He knows Shotchlo's nearby, but just can't quite find him. And there's the blink into the tree line even deeper. And scan. Whoa, he blinks right onto Shotchlo. Oh, Necrophos. He's going to get multicasted. It's a 4x, and he will be punished. Uses a Reaper's Scythe. Actually gets a kill before he falls. Disruptor will be down for 100 seconds. Okay.
Necrophos has buyback.
Dire's middle tower
he sure does.
Attack.
He'll be up in about 60 seconds.
Dire's structures
Buyback
are
status looking
fortified.
pretty good in general for the Power Rangers. The Void does not have it, though.
Faced.
Oh, tier 2 mid does end up going down. Dityara to TP out, and they will interrupt it. The MKB doing some work, and Shadow Fiend falls. Now, oh, the Chrono, the Death Ward. A lot of damage comes out. Jonas around the backside, taunt onto NS. 8 Mothers here for follow-up damage. NiP burned 2 buybacks. They may try to push for the base after this. Witch Doctor gets slam dunked as he tries to TP home, and Cheshire Cat will make it out. So who has buybacks here, Merlini? Shadow Fiend does. Witch Doctor does. Necrophos does. This will not be a game-ending push, but we'll see what NiP can do with it. And Jug will go into a Battle Fury, it looks like. Talisman of Evasion picked up. Or Butterfly, rather, sorry.
I think they're actually 1 Jug kill away from taking a couple of racks of their own.
Yeah.
Just takes a Reaper on him with a Death Ward or a Requiem or a Chronosphere. Something that's nice and quick damage. Actually, maybe not a Chronosphere. Faces Void's still very weak.
This is still surprisingly close. Venomancer grabbing some BOTs now. He'll go ahead and TP in. NiP moving into the Radiant base. They will force at least 1 buyback here, if not both. Shadow Fiend burns it straight away. Now more and more BOTs getting picked up. The Raptor grabs his so he can hop in this party ASAP. All right, and
I think it was a wise decision for them to back off.
I think they really just wanted to force the buyback. It didn't seem like they wanted to push into that, but
I mean, they might.
Radiant's top tower
If they
is
back
under
off, what are
attack.
they waiting for? I guess a better opportunity for them, a better positioning. But I mean, waiting on Jug's buyback is very risky, just because of the Necrophos in this game. And he does have a blink, so he can catch him out instantaneously or near instantaneously.
all right, next Roche. Well, still a little ways away. Yeah, not going to be that RNG timer quite yet. There's a whole collection of TP scrolls here hanging out in the pit. Steel Kid picks one up. Just, you know, take a penny, leave a penny. Take a scroll, leave a scroll.
And PR with 2 lanes down, having a fair amount of trouble pushing out the lanes. Dityara's Shadow raising top. Cheshire Cat pushing out the mid with his weak array of items.
Yep. And both teams really just waiting for that golden opportunity here. Glancing at Vision, Radiant have finally got some wards down both plateaus and a ward in their jungle. Dire only have 1 ward down right now, and it's on this little hill right here, but soon to expire.
And NiP doing their pre-Roche huddle.
We'll see what that RNG timer is. Maybe they'll luck out and it'll be a fast one. They can drop it before PR really have a chance to contest. PR are blind on that area of the map. So we mentioned they've got a ward down, but not given too much intel towards the actual Roche pit itself.
Shotchlo needs a scythe, but he doesn't have any more slots.
Shotchlo has a scythe. Oh, sorry, a scepter. Oh, yeah, you mean a hex. Yeah, yeah.
Scythe of Ice, yeah.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Chrono on to 3. The Death Ward's there. It's bouncing all over the place. NiP, they're in big trouble. 8 Mother doing a lot of damage. 3 dead already. He'll fall. It's going to be a full 5-man wipe here, Merlini. He'll be coming back. Compliments of... Nope, he's dead. Oh, my God. That was a game-winning Chrono right there.
They deviated from the plan. What happened to the pre-Roche huddle?
That was the dream for the Power Rangers. Dire Courier even falls in the mix.
That is game. Juggernaut does not have buyback. Venomancer can't buyback. He got Reaper. Disruptor has no money. Ogre Magi has no money. X also has no money. They're all dead.
That's... Could not have said it better myself, Merlini. They are all dead, and they gonna stay dead. Power Rangers pushing for the win, and it was a rocky game 1. 55 minutes of gameplay. They will secure it. Tier 3 tower goes down, and they'll do it in style. 2 lanes of barracks down without killing a single lane themselves. Right for the throne. GG's called, and NiP will be forced to tap out. What a game.
They played so well, and all it took was 1 mistake. They went into the opponent's side of the map before Roshan. They had an observer ward up the hill, and boom, Cheshire Cat pulling through. Doesn't matter, 2 and whatever, 2 and 14, 3 and 15, whatever. Just one good chrono. And of course,
oh man,
NS as a stand-in.
Power Rangers looking very confident and happy after that victory there, as you can see. NS, like you mentioned, the stand-in player, 9, 4, and 14, a very good showing on the Witch Doctor. PR, it's like an amazing early game. Mid-game was a disaster after those failed Roshans, and once you get big enough, it just takes one wombo combo to end them all.
Whew. And he finally had BKB. That's
he finally has BKB. So that was just game 1. We've got game 2 right around the corner. Thoughts, Merlini? How can NiP do better? Is it just simply execution at this point?
I mean, they had the right game plan. I think they need like a gem and just huddle around the Roach Pit, surround themselves with wards so they don't get surrounded, so they don't get caught off guard with smoke ganks, and then just defend the pit like they had been doing. This is the thing; they had been executing it properly every single time before that.
Just a little bit sloppy, and
they're like, oh, whatever, we're 2 racks up. I don't know, and then
they had no vision there too. I think they were just under the mindset of PR are locked in their base. There's no way they're going to come out. We can move into the jungle and get some wards down, invade, see where they are, and PR was ready. They had wards on both their plateaus, one right side of the Roche Pit. They saw the movement coming forward, and Cheshire Cat, man, he seized the moment on that one.
GG.
That is a BTS moment right there. All right, so we're going to have a break, guys, and then coming up, Game 2 of Power Rangers versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. An explosive Game 1. Stick around. You'll want to see the conclusion of this series coming up next.